One of the most crucial part during an interview is the explanation of a project. You're given only 2 to 3 minutes to describe your project, and so your project explanation should be precise and concise. Hey everyone, I'm Aishwarya Mahapatra and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, we will be discussing what is the best way to explain your project during an interview. So it doesn't really matter what technologies you're using in your project. And it also doesn't matter if your project is big and complex or it's a simple project. What really matters is how you are describing your project and how well you know about your project. So now let's first divide your whole project description into some steps that you should be following while explaining your project. I would also suggest you to make a doc wherein you will be writing the whole description of your project using the steps that I will be discussing in the video, and then during the interview you can deliver that explanation. So before starting with the steps, let me tell you that at the end of this video, I have explained an example project description and how I've actually applied the steps that I will be telling you in this video. So don't forget to watch the video till the end. Also, if you haven't subscribed till yet, please subscribe because this would mean the world to me. So let's get started. So the step 1 is to state the what and why of the project. So let's first discuss the what of the project. What of the project is wherein you will be giving a brief introduction of your project within just 2 to 3 sentences. And then why of the project consists of the reason why you started doing this project at the first place. It can be anything. Maybe you saw some problem and you wanted to solve that problem through your project, or maybe you were really interested in working upon that particular technology. The second step is to state the advantages and the major functionalities of your project. So in this section, what you can do is you can divide the features of your project into points so that it's very understandable to the interviewer. The third step is to mention the tools, technology, and the platforms that you used during your project. So the technology that you're using, it can be anything. For web development, you may work with React.js, Angular, Vue, or for Android, you can work with Flutter, Java, or Kotlin. But no matter what technology you're using, one thing that you should definitely prepare for is the answer to the question why you choose this particular technology over some other similar technology. Because the interviewer definitely is going to ask this question. So in short, you should know the advantages of the technologies that you're using. The fourth step is applicable only if your project is a group project. And if your project is a group project, then you should be mentioning the number of students who helped you to build this project. And similarly, the fifth step also is applicable only if you have a group project. In this, you have to mention your personal contribution and role. But one thing to keep in mind is, no matter which part of the project you did, you should have the knowledge of the whole project, because the interviewer is going to expect that you have an overall idea of the project. First, say you made a full stack project, right? And you are really good with the front end and you let your friends do the back end part. But during the interviews, you definitely are an expert in the front end, but somehow the interviewer is also expecting you to know about the back end, at least some part of it, right? You cannot deny that, you know what, I haven't done this part and these parts were done by my friends, so I have no idea about this part. This is something which the interviewer wouldn't like to hear from you. So you should be confident in the back end part as much as you are in the front end part. So the sixth part is to state the challenges that you face during the project. Now this is a very crucial part during your description of the project, because the way you will be explaining this part, this will give an insight to the interviewer on how you solve the problems that you face during any particular work. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to explain the challenges that you faced during the project and then tell how you actually approached towards the solution of that particular challenge. Now, it's possible that there can be a lot of challenges that you faced during the project, but I would suggest not to mention all of the challenges, because then it will be very long. So rather what you should do is you should choose one major challenge that you faced and then tell the solution or your approach of how you actually solve that problem. The seventh part is to tell the interviewer how much time did you actually take to build this whole project. And finally, the eighth step is to state if there is any future scope to your project or if you have any further plans for this project. So I want to remind you that your description should not be more than 2 to 3 minutes, because anyway, this is a description. So you should be saving some of the information to present it as an answer only when the interviewer asks it. So these were the all 8 steps that you need to include in a project description to make it precise and concise. I've actually created a doc as well in which I've written all the 8 steps so that you can use those steps in your project description. But I've also provided an example project description which has been written following these steps that I've told you. So let me take you to my screen and we will be discussing that example project description. So as you can see, this is the doc that I've actually prepared for you to follow the steps that I've discussed in the video already. So for every topic or every step, I've written the explanation of what you should be including in this particular part of your description, right? And now let's come to the example of a project description. So this is a very simple project, to be honest, the Netflix clone. So let's start with this. The introduction, as I said. So I created this full-fledged React application. That's a one-stop store for all the trailers of upcoming series and movies. So as I said, your description, the initial description, should be maximum 2 to 3 sentences, right? Then you can directly jump on to the features, right? Its major functionalities are fetch the video from YouTube and user can enjoy that in pop-up without any new refreshing page, responsive application, so on and so forth, right? And then you can write the why of the project. Okay, so you should be knowing the reason of why you started with this project at the first place. So as I have written, I always have preferred learning by doing, and I wanted to explore the new avenues of front-end development with React and discover how React can ease out things that HTML, CSS alone couldn't do. Besides, my college fest team is working on our website where there's an extensive use of React.js. So this project helped me get a hands-on experience in React and learn some design tricks, right? Then I've written tools and technologies. So the major technologies that this project includes are React.js, HTML5, CSS3 and JS. I have integrated a third-party API from TMDB for fetching the data. So now the next part is the challenges that you've faced, right? Honestly, in this project, I didn't face any major challenge. So how I actually solved it was using the various references like from the internet, books, blogs, and GitHub repository. You can be more specific about how you overcame the challenges. But remember one thing, if your explanation of how you overcame is long enough, then I would suggest that save it until the interviewers asks himself or herself, right? Because that makes sense, right? Your description needs to be maximum 2 to 3 minutes and you cannot exceed that time. Then the time to build the project. So this application took me a little over 1 month. And then what's the future scope? So there is a scope of improvement in my project where we can add database connection, multi-user access, adding routing support and also storing user history. So these are the future scope that I mentioned, right? So that's it, guys. That's all for the video. I will be linking the link to the doc in the description below so you can go and find that out and start writing your description of the project right away. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. A lot of people come here and watch my videos, but they don't subscribe to my channel. So please subscribe because it gives me more motivation to keep moving ahead and making video for you guys. Till then, stay fit, stay healthy. I'll meet you in the next video. Bye-bye.